Crisis leadership. How prepared are you to be a crisis leader? Think about that. Give yourself a score, 1 to 10. How prepared are you to be? Or what kind of crisis leader are you? Give yourself a score. What are the elements that drove you to that number? Let's take a look at the elements that you should be looking at. Welcome to Great Transition Strategies Monday Morning Stand-Up. 5 minutes to get your week off to a great start and potentially give you something to make you a more effective leader so you can love what you do. Crisis leadership, we all want to be a solid leader in a crisis, and we all want a solid leader in a crisis. What are the elements you should think about? These are 3 that I think are the most important. What's the first one? Trust, values. Number 2, last one is predict and practice. Think about them in a box, those 3, put them in a box of daily. And let's go through it right now. Think about yourself as a leader, put yourself in the leadership context, and let's go through these. First, trust. Leadership really is just a bond of trust between the leader and those that they're leading. Think of a leader that you've trusted a lot, and think of a leader that you haven't trusted a lot. How effective were they as a leader? How did they build that trust? How do you build trust as a leader? Think about these 4 big elements. 1, you set an example. You set and enforce a standard. You build and sustain morale. You exhibit courage. There's all ways that we do that. Leadership is an art, not a science. We all have our ways of doing that. Now, there's the opportunity. How do you build trust with the individuals that you're leading? I have a test that I have. Think about, in a time of crisis, do people come to you or do people move away from you? Move towards you or move away from you? If people move towards you, they probably trust you. If they move away from you, they probably don't trust you. That is a good opportunity to understand if you're going to be a good crisis leader. So think on a daily basis, how do I build trust with those on my team? Values. On values, 1, define, say what they are, name them, define them, and as you define them, when you define a value, that's the behavior to fulfill it, and demonstrably practice them every single day so folks can see what they are. What are your top values? Maybe it's courage, integrity, empathy. Whatever it is, state it, define it, respect. This is what I expect. Equal deference to everyone in the organization. If I see people just looking up top, respecting those on top, that's a problem. Define it. Values are really important. Define it so people can see every single day how you're living them. I think of, in a time of crisis, everything gets stripped away. All the facades go away, and you are left standing just with what your core values truly are. Think of yourself as a tree in the wintertime, a deciduous tree with leaves. You are a tree in the wintertime, weathering the bad weather, this bad season. Everything goes away. All you're left with are your roots, your trunk, and strong branches. That's who you are. They're your core values. It's showing to everyone. Are you going to be able to make it through that storm? Last one, predict and practice. You can, any industry you're in, you can predict the problems that you're going to have. You can predict it's probably going to have something to do with people. It's going to have something to do with money, have something to do with the business environment. What is it? You could predict it. So predict it. Next, practice. Practice every single day, particularly using the 2 above, using your values and building trust. Think of yesterday, go to yesterday. You solved some problem yesterday. What was the problem? It was this minor crisis. You solved it. In your actions, did you build trust with the individuals? How did you build trust? Was it in alignment with your values? If it wasn't, if you're showing your values have this wide berth, there's this wide spectrum that you could work within, people know that. They're not going to trust you. They will know, and every day when you work with individuals, they're going to see, yep, I know what to expect. So every day you're practicing through these little crises. So when the big crisis comes, is all you're doing, you're able to just step up. A large crisis is all it does is expand and focus and amplify whatever small crisis you've had. Every day you're practicing with the small crisis. So are you, when you have those small crises, are you building trust? Are you living by your values? Are you doing what you need to do? Thanks for listening. Hope you found it helpful. See you next Monday morning, 8:30. Have a great week.